have here a plant pot, a big real pot one, and it's got two big cracks appeared in it over the winter. I think it must have got blown over. It had a tree in it, a small ornamental Leylandii, and I just want to, because it hasn't broken yet, I'm not going to deliberately break it and stick it up with silicone. I'm going to leave it whole, but I just want to brace it so that it keeps it together for the rest of the season. And I've got a nice bit of wire here which has come off a car wheel cover, and it will just be perfect because it's got a nice little kink in it to give it some spring. It will just be perfect if I could just push that down there and tap it and have it hold, and it will just nip it together. But it won't do it, it keeps springing back up, and even if I straightened that little kink out, it wouldn't be long enough. It needs to be another inch or two longer so I could get it a bit further down, I think. So what I'm doing is, and I really like doing this, I'm making some strong wire out of thin wire, and it's this stuff. And what it is it's the armour plating from electrical cable. Now if you look in the corner here where my fuse box is, that black wire that's leading from the bottom of the fuse box just contains live wires, of course, but they armour it with this wire that I'm using. And I've pulled some out of a skip at some point when an electrician has been working on a factory or something, and I keep it up here. I keep it stretched out all along this shelf, so that if I need a bit, I just pull one out and use it for various things. So what I do is, it's not particularly strong on its own, but you can twist 2 or 3 or 4 strands of it together and get quite a strong wire. So I'm going to twist 3 of these together till I get a nice strong wire, and then I'm going to wrap it around the top of the pot around there. But I also use it, more often I use it for hanging pictures. You see like that big, can you see it, that big photograph of a trawler up there? That's hung on wire, twisted like this. So what you do is, I'll show you, and like I say, I quite enjoy doing this. So I've got one long complete piece here, which you just bend in, fold over in half, and then I've got another half piece. You probably can't even see what I'm doing here, but you can probably guess. So here's the long piece, folded into 2. And I'm just going to nip the 2 open ends in the vice there. Stretch it all out, put a screwdriver in the loop, just pull it tight so it's properly halved. That there. And here's the other bit. This is one where I've snipped the end off it so it's not fully as long as this one, so I'm going to use it. Nip it in the vice, so that I've got 3 wires there, all nipped to the same length at that end. It's bound to be different at this end, so yeah, it is. So I'm just going to snip that piece off of the shorter bit, and then all you do is get your drill, open it up, trap your wire in, close it, till it nips it, and then stretch it and just do the business. And you can see the drill get closer to the vise as it twists. It pulls it in closer to the vise. Keep going until, well actually that's probably good enough. If you're not careful you'll put too much stress on it and break it. So I think that's good enough. And just let go. And there you've got it. Some nice strong cable made out of 3 skinny bits of wire. So now all I've got to make sure is that it's not too short now to go around here. Oh, that's okay. So all I've got to do now is just twist it. And there we go. Nice and tight. What I might do actually is just bob a few little bits of silicone around it so that over time it doesn't just slip down. Snip those off. And then we can use it for another season without it falling to pieces. So that's it. One of my ace projects with armoured cable wire. Right, time for a cuppa.